Seeing people laughing, walking, going about their daily activities is because they are healthy. Hi, televiewers, you're welcome to Hi Television. The program you're about to watch is Inside the Health World. We bring to you this program every Thursday to give you information on the do's and don'ts of your health. So it's important for you to watch this program till the end. Every day we come with very important topic and we bring along resource persons to educate us on the topic. Today we are going to be talking about awareness and screening for breast and cervical cancers. We know this is something that is common in our society and is very, very important for you to have information about cancer, about cervical cancer, about breast cancer. You are only going to get that in this edition of Inside the Health World. This program is also highly interactive. You can send us your question, don't call. There's a number on your screen. You can text us and ask us any question you wish to ask. Like I said, we have resource persons here on set. So we go by introducing our guest for today. We have Charm Genesis Fong-Tweng, medical lab scientist, lecturer, Cancer Diagnostic Center, Regional Hospital, Boya. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you.
You're welcome. We also have Professor Tassan Andrew, obstetrician, gynecologist, oncologist, University of Boya. It's a pleasure to have you on set.
Thank you for having me on board.
All right. And we have Professor Mike Brandy, obstetrician, gynecologist, Arizona University, United States of America. Prof, you're welcome.
It's my pleasure.
All right. So you're all welcome to this edition of the program. But to start this program, I'm going to start it with my colleague, Shireen Congo. She's making her maiden edition on TV. She's going to be talking to us about the health benefits of physical exercise and also the health benefits of fruit. Congo, you're welcome to my program.
Thank you, Alice. I want to say that it's a great opportunity for me to be here. So today, viewers, I'll be telling you about the health benefits of fruits. I know many of us today, at least if you can testify to that, me growing up, I didn't know the benefits of fruit. I actually had to neglect it until I had to get the advice, counseling from doctors, then for professionals. So with me, I'll tell you about fruits and the benefits. So fruits are actually great for our system. That is, they have vitamins. They provide vitamins to us. They have vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin K. These various vitamins that they helps, like, I know in my chemistry guys you say potassium, magnesium, what's kind of, I didn't understand that language, being a chemistry, I know the vibe of that. So when you hear about potassium, magnesium, and fluoride, those are some of the things that this fruit provides in our systems. Okay. So I also have high in fiber. When we talk about high in fiber, we talk about you being like regular digestion. There are times that you go for recreations that, I say I must finish this food today. I will eat until I won't know what to get my system digested for me to walk to the next street. Without knowing that with fruit, I can actually do that. So I'm trying to tell the viewer here that if you go to an occasion, you eat, sitting at home, that grandmother, you don't need to buy chewing gum for the grandmother to chew. You can just get like few fruit stuff like pineapple, watermelon, bananas to digest the fruit, their system. We also have the same fruits like carrots. At least I don't know if you've heard of this story where they say carrot is good for the baby. That it actually helps your baby to be really shiny when it comes out. My sister for one, when she was pregnant, she has to eat carrot every day just to have that glowing appearance for the child. So carrot is also very good. It helps your skin tone. It helps boost your immune system. Okay, away from fruits, I also have other stuff like physical exercise benefits. When I talk about physical exercise, I'm not a fan of sport, no refuse, I'm not a fan of sport. If they tell me to go and play sport in secondary school,
it's good for your health, Shari.
I'll tell my teacher that they say, you want to kill me, better kill me, don't give me the marks. Not knowing the benefit, but coming up to this stage and seeing that exercise is actually good for us. As a young lady, I would like to have this shape, this physical shape, whereby I can showcase for my future husband to see me. At least you understand, right? So, when you do certain exercises, it helps burn your fat, your calories, and obesity as well. There's a stage, there's an illness like diabetes type 2. It's very common with fat people. So you doing these exercises and leaving out these pills that actually cause you effects in the long run helps burn this fat away. I mean, gives you the shape you desire. Aside from that, you also have improved cardiovascular diseases. There are diseases that can be caused by you just sitting at home, not doing anything. I'll take for example for my grandma, I mean, now so rest in peace. She was the type of person whereby she was very, let me say, active. I mean, she's over age. She will say, grandma, sit, don't walk. You say, sit, don't walk. How do you expect my body to be active? We're like, no, sit down. Until a doctor had to tell us that her being active is a way of boosting her immune system, helps her, keeps her longer. But we didn't know that factor. For us, when she's walking like that, it's as if you're stressing yourself, the whole age and everything, you're stressing yourself. So doing little physical exercises to your older generation, like walking around the compound like every morning, helps makes your muscles, bones very strong. I mean, most people don't know that. I just rather prefer grandma sit and watch TV. I mean, that's a lie. But helping them do this little exercises helps boost their immune system, helps make their bones and muscles very stronger. Aside from that, we also have stress and anxiety. I'll take one me. Sorry, you know that our stress issue, like when it comes to self-esteem. I mean, to relieve some of this stress at times, I just like doing exercises to make myself look like I'm jogging. It's helping me fit the calmness, the fitness, the self-esteem. It helps boost your self-esteem. So for you to like have self-esteem at times to boost your stress or to relieve your stress, it's good that you do these sports. And it's okay if you cannot afford for gyms, because there are gyms around now. It's good. Maybe you cannot afford having gyms fee. You just go maybe do. I mean, you have a backyard. You have your surrounding. Just get up, do 1 or 2 up and down. That's you doing sports. And at least that's all I have for you guys today. I hope I did give some knowledge out there for the viewers to take home.
Thank you very much, Irene. Thank you for telling us about the health benefits of physical exercise as well as the health benefits of fruits. Hope to see you next time again inside the health world. Okay, you just sit and the technician will indicate when you are going to leave the set. All right, televiewers, you're welcome back. Like I said from the beginning, we are going to talk about awareness and screening for breast and cervical cancer. So I would like for us to begin by talking about breast cancer in the first place. Let me start with you. What is breast cancer?
Breast cancer, as we all see it, breast cancer is abnormal proliferation of tissues of the breast. The breast, like any other organ in the body, is made up of cells. So when these cells are regulated by mechanisms put in place by God, let's say, and so it so happens that during cancer, these cells, they lose the mechanism of control and they grow abnormally. So when this happens, they form what we call tumors. And tumors, at times, we see them as lumps in the breast or masses in the breast. So basically, this is breast cancer.
All right, thank you. Professor Mike, let me come to you. We're talking about breast cancer, and from what I'm seeing here, you are from the United States of America. When we were growing up, we used to believe that cancer is something that cannot be found in Africa. You can only, when you hear people sick of cancer, is there in the United States of America. But you are also here in Cameroon. How do you see the situation? Is it the same with that of the United States of America?
Well, breast cancer is the #1 cancer in women in Cameroon and also in the United States of America. So it's true that some of the Western habits of diet and lack of exercise and alcohol can increase the risk of breast cancer. But breast cancer is very important both in the United States and in Africa.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Professor Tasang, in Cameroon, what are some of the things that are being done to ensure that they try to reduce the rate at which breast cancer affects women?
Yes, what we are just planning to do exactly at the regional hospital of the screening for breast and cervical cancer. Just mass screening, talking to the population, talking to the community, creating awareness. Those are some of the things which you can do to control breast cancer.
All right, joining us on set, we have M. Walters Ndaka, lecturer, Cancer Diagnostic Center, the regional hospital here in Buea. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're just talking about breast cancer. I just want you to add your voice to what they have said, and let's look at, you are there at the regional hospital in Buea. The number of women, is it increasing, is it reducing when it comes to treating or controlling breast cancer? I don't know if it's treated. We are going to find out in the course of this program.
Thank you very much. The incidence of breast cancer is increasing by the years, especially in our areas in sub-Saharan Africa. It's not just the situation of Cameroon. And like you rightly said, I thought your question to Prof. Mike was going to be like, we used to hear that cancer was a white man disease. So how come it's now in Africa? I think a lot of other factors will come in place, but to be honest with you, the situation of breast cancer is increasing. If it was something that was decreasing, I think screening would not be very important. But it's increasing, and for other factors, maybe lack of awareness, and other factors that may include women not being alerted, because usually we could not say that cancer was just a white man disease, but I think it's because we lacked some diagnostic methods to be able to know that people who died from this disease actually died from a cancer. But today we're more aware and we have more technology to assess these things, and that's why.
Okay, still talking about breast cancer, is there a period, let me say if somebody has suffered from breast cancer until it is advanced, can there be a remedy, Prof?
Yes, breast cancer is treatable, and a lot of breast cancer is curable. Cancer is kind of described by stage. Stage describes if the breast cancer is localized or it has spread to other places. And so the lower the stage and the earlier the cancer is discovered, the more treatable it is.
Okay, let's go now to cervical cancer before we start talking about the screening exercise that is going to take place at the Buea Regional Hospital. I'm coming back to you, Charles Genesis. Tell us about cervical cancer.
Thank you so much. We understand that the cervix, first of all, is the entrance to a woman's womb. And this cervix, it is located in the woman's reproductive system. So it is an area where cells are dividing. It has an area of cells that are resistant, and and part of it which is very much multiplying. It's a junction, what scientists call the squamo-columnar junction. So it so happens that at times, due to infection, it can be due to an infection like human papillomavirus, that these cells begin to also multiply abnormally, like we said in the case of breast cancer. And so when this is happening, the woman can have various presentations. She may see blood during which, like maybe when she makes love with her husband, she may see spotting. She may also have maybe some abnormal discharges, watery abnormal discharges. And so when a woman notices these things, she needs to come to the hospital for us to check and to be sure what is causing problems.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's go now to the awareness exercise, a campaign. What's the objective of this campaign? I'll start with you, Professor Mike.
The objective of the campaign is to reduce the number of people who die from breast cancer and cervical cancer by finding either early cancer or even pre-cancer and treating those things so that the person does not get sick.
Why at the regional hospital, when you say it's free, the cancer, the screening is free, who are those who are to come for this screening?
Our target, we are targeting women and girls that who are age 21 and above. So everybody who is this age should come for the screening.
Okay, when people say 21 and above, does it mean that a little child cannot suffer from breast cancer or cervical cancer? Anybody can answer that?
Breast cancer is quite rare. before 21 years old. I mean, super, super rare, and as is cervical cancer. So these are pretty much diseases that happen after 21 and most of the time after 25.
Okay. So when is this awareness? When are they starting? When should people start coming? All right, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. The screening campaign is to start on the 12th. That is Tuesday 12th, next week Tuesday, 12th of November. It's going to run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's the screening exercise. Then on Friday, Saturday, which are the 15th and 16th, we have set that apart to be able to treat the cases of pre-cancers and that have been identified in the course of the screening. And I like to remark here that both the screening and the treatment are all free.
All right. I wish to find out something, because most people, especially Africans, they will sit until when they have seen something on their body or abnormalities in their system. That's when they go to the hospital. Can anybody just come up like, I want to do the screening, I want to go for this screening, or maybe you'll be feeling some pain around your breast, around your cervix before you say you should go for this screening?
If I may say, let's talk about cervical cancer. You see, as Professor Mike said, cervical cancer is the second cancer in women after the breast cancer. It is quite unfortunate that in Africa, in Cameroon, the awareness is not created. So most of our patients, I've said 90% of our patients, they are received when the disease is at an advanced stage, where we have maybe just palliative treatment to give. But all these cancers are treatable. If they are early, you have precancerous lesion or cancer just at the beginning. I'm talking about cervical cancer. They're just at the beginning. All that is treatable. But unfortunately, when they come, it's already advanced and we have very little to do. So it's the same with breast cancer. Those wait when it's too late. Unfortunately, our culture is what it is. Many of our women, when they have any of these cancers, their reflex is first to go to church, that there's a man of God who is going to pray, is going to vanish away, which is not true, of course. Or they go to traditional medicine, go and have scarifications, and they come at the tail end. So those are the problems we are facing in our daily practice.
So in other words, you are saying that even if there was no free screening exercise, as a human being, you should just once in a while go for general checkup?
Oh yes. Let's talk about cervical cancer. When you have the precancerous lesion, before it develops, and then it's a full-blown cancer, it takes about 15 years. Some authors say 20 years. So if you go for screening regularly, they will get them when they are still very small. They are precancerous stage, and they are treated, easily treated, and you are free the rest of your life. So it is.
Okay. There's this notion when somebody goes to the hospital and they say the person is having either breast cancer, or cervical cancer, according to them, it's a death sentence. It's just like telling somebody, still some people, they still feel that AIDS is a death sentence. Is there some form of counseling during this screening exercise?
Thank you, Madam Alice. We, like you rightly said, just writing a request for a patient to go do a test that is cancer, it creates panic in most patients. And they usually come panicking and really need some counseling to calm down. We used to, as we receive them in the hospital, we used to advise them that this is just a test. You have just been sent to do a test. You don't have to panic because we don't yet know the results. So you have to be calm, and it can be a positive test or it can be a negative test. So during this our campaign, we would actually be counseling our patients and helping them out.
Just to add that usually in the past years, when we do campaigns, we don't just receive patients, send them straight to the lab for examination and all of that. There is usually a talk session that is being done. And our gynecologists are going to be able to talk to the patient. First, make them understand why they're there. They might just have come and not yet understood why they are there. And then also make them understand cancer is not a death sentence, and that's the truth. It is treatable, like we have said here. And the screening is just like sending a hunter to the bush to find the tracks of an animal. And that's what we are doing. We want to find the tracks, and if we get the tracks, it's easy to trap the animal and get it out so that it doesn't destroy the crops. And I think that's just what we're doing with the screening. And we have that talk section to talk to them, let them understand, and knowing also that if you have a positive test, there is something we can do. That is why we don't just screen and let them go. There is the slot for treatment. So they can also be treated and they're out of it. And usually, like Mr. Cham said clearly, when these women, you can come to the hospital without a symptom and do a routine checkup. And if you do a routine checkup, usually for cervical cancer, and it's normal, you'll be advised to do it again after 3 years. That way you keep yourself away from, if there is even a trace of the development of a precancerous lesion, it's identified and removed and you're free. So let's cancel the idea that once you hear cancer, you're going to die. Technology, medicine has advanced beyond that already.
Okay, so let's talk to the viewers, because people are watching us. Let's know what are the dangers if you don't go for early diagnosis, if you don't go for treatment and all of that. But maybe if they get to know about these dangers from the 14, right?
From the 12.
From the 12 to the 16.
From 9 to 2 p.m.
From the 12 to the 16, 9 to 2 p.m. at the Boya Regional Hospital. I think that place has to be filled with people to do those, women to do those tests. So I want us to talk about the danger if not early diagnosed or treated. I'll start with you, Professor.
Well, I mean, I think there's two dangers of not getting early diagnosis or treatment. The most obvious danger is not detecting an easily treatable disease and letting it get out of control to the point where the treatment is more expensive or longer or less effective. The second risk or lack of benefit of neglecting screening is that you don't get the relief. Most people who come for screening get good results and get peace of mind. And so missing out on that peace of mind is a risk of not coming to screening.
Okay, you have something to say?
Just to add that, truly, like Prof. Mike has said, there are a lot that are dying in silence. They have this fear of coming to check. And if you just come to check and you realize that you're negative, that gives you a great peace of mind. I think such a person will go on to advise other women to come check.
Even most patients that come with a breast mass or some change in their breast that they found end up not having cancer and get reassurance.
Wow, okay.
And then the incidence here, I don't know why I should be afraid. The incidence is just about 6 to 8%. All research done around Boya, it's between 6 to 8%. So it's not much.
So they are calling for everybody. I just want you to just tell the public again about this campaign that is coming up, the date and time. Maybe you emphasize on it.
Okay, thank you, Madam Alice. We're saying that the breast and cervical cancer screening program is to begin next week, Tuesday at 9 a.m. and it's going to run to 2 p.m. at the Boya Regional Hospital, specifically the pathology unit. If you come to the Boya Regional Hospital, before entering the main entrance gate, you see a banner across it, and if you just tell anybody at the gate or the gate man, the security man, and say, I'm coming for this, they will direct you. They're well assured of it. And then also it's going to run from that Tuesday the 12th. If you miss it on the 12th, you can come on the 13th, you can come on the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th. And we are saying that we want to do the screening to be sure that we live a healthy life and have a greater life expectancy. Like we were talking about the dangers of not screening. It's also like saying that if you keep keep a ripe banana somewhere, and then an insect gets to eat a spot of it, and a maggot get in, and you don't identify it on time, eventually, when you discover it, if you want to cut off the spot, you may end up cutting off it. Just to begin, I think we are becoming more westernized than we were traditionally. The traditional African is natural, and we are beginning to eat more of Western food products, which may not necessarily be customized for us, but the adaptation of that lifestyle, both in what we eat and in what we live with. We have human beings that live with animals, so we can't doubt a lot of things. And then the oil, the rubbing oils, and all of the body lotions that we take might not be customized for us Africans, and so all of that may come into play. And that is just talking about physical factors. When we are talking about the breast cancer, it's also genetic. Okay, it could be in a layman's language, you can say it can be inherited in the family pattern. If the breast cancer is caused by a gene, we have two of them, BRCA1 and 2. BR means breast cancer. So we have the breast cancer gene 1, breast cancer gene 2. So it can run in some families. That is to say, if a mother has it, first degree generations of the family are most likely to have it.
Yeah, talking about the causes of cervical cancer and breast cancer, I want to add on what Pastor Joe said. Let's talk about cervical cancer. These are some of the risk factors. Early onset sexual exposure, multiple sex partners. It's a sexually transmissible disease. People should know that. Yeah. The cause is being transmitted is the human papilloma virus, which we abbreviate as HPV. It's a sexually transmissible disease. So many multiple sexual partners, polygamy, people having many women, because the vector is the man. It carries from one woman to the other. Low socioeconomic status, cigarette smoking. I'm talking about cervical cancer. Okay. All of that. This is a package. But we have cervical cancer, the peak age is between 45 to 55 years. But it doesn't mean that below that you cannot have. It doesn't mean that. For breast cancer, you said it, you have the genetic component. I know of a family where a friend of mine, a classmate of mine, the mother died of breast cancer, the aunt died of breast cancer, the elder sister died of breast cancer, and finally she herself died of breast cancer, and she was in the States, so no it was not detected. So you have that family line, that's genetic, and then anything which would put you, which have prolonged exposure to estrogen, like early menarche, that's when a girl starts seeing her menses very, very early, 9, 10 years, 12 years, late menopause, getting pregnant very, very late, or not get infertility, not getting pregnant at all. All of that, drinking, taking a lot of alcohol, high alcohol consumption, all of that. Those are risk factors. Then again, it is true. Genetically, we think that the whites have it more, but we are getting more and more westernized. So we are having more and more those cases. And you just asked a question a few minutes ago. That's why we see a lot of breast cancer, is because you have people like those sitting on this panel. Formerly, we did not have them. So these people can detect both the diagnosis and treatment. In the past, they were not existing because cancer seemed to be neglected. It's a public, yes, neglected. It's not something which are at the forefront. As when AIDS came, everybody was talking about it's malaria. No, it's neglected. So you must have the technician, the human resources to do all that work. Mike, maybe you want to say something else. You're nodding your head.
Regarding risk factors, maybe one other important risk factor, especially for cervical cancer, is living with HIV. So patients who are living with HIV have their immune system compromised, and so they are at higher risk to get cervical cancer, and it's particularly important that those patients be screened.
For breast cancer, the age generally is around 61 years, the average thing. But the majority of women between, if you take, let's say, 10 patients, not so, for 8 patients, you find out the majority of them is above, the majority is above 50 years.
Okay.
Yes, but the average should be about 61. So the more you advance in age, the more you are susceptible to having breast cancer.
Is it only women that can get breast cancer? What
No,
about men?
Not quite. The incidence in men is quite low, but it doesn't mean a man cannot have a breast cancer. And then just to add to the cancers, we actually, while we're doing the screening, we also advise men to come. The tissues that make up the breast in men are quite small, and so men have smaller breasts. It doesn't mean a man doesn't have a breast at all. So the person who doesn't have a breast cancer is somebody who doesn't have a breast. I think that's okay now.
Yeah.
And then, so we also advise men who have issues with their breast to come and let's check them. It's easy to identify an issue in a man's breast because the volume is small compared to that of a woman. And that's why when we talk about breast cancer, the focus seems to be more on women. And of course, women also, their breasts are also for procreation. So it's also important to know that. And then to talk about cancers generally, we have what we call the triads, okay? Somebody living with obesity, hypertension, and diabetes is most likely to get a cancer. Okay, so it's also important that even if they don't have a history in their families, the fact there is a diabetes, there's hypertension, and there's obesity, try to come for the screening.
All right, thank you.
There's another question which I think would have asked, but your question was directed to breast cancer. I want to talk about men and cervical cancer. Why have men not screened? It's because the awareness all over the world is not there, it's not created. But they're supposed to be screened also, because men can develop cancer because of HPV virus. They can develop the oropharyngeal laryngitis inside the mouth, the back of the mouth. They can develop cancer, anal cancer, perineal cancer. But it's true that most of the perineal cancer, the cancer of the penis, most of the lesions we have are benign, just what, but it does exist. But more and more we think the authorities are putting emphasis on screening young boys, just as we're screening girls and women.
Okay, Prof. Mike, I wish you to, you're on High TV and the viewers are watching you right now. We want to know the promoters of this campaign and also for you to use this opportunity to tell them how important this campaign is and calling on them to come for the screening.
Well, the promoters of this campaign are the University of Buea and the Regional Hospital Buea and faculty of the University of Buea. And also the Cameroon-Arizona Partnership, our nonprofit who works with the University of Buea. It's important to come out for this because you can't prevent something that you don't find, right? You can't prevent something from getting worse if you don't know it's there. And cervical cancer doesn't have much symptoms. In bleeding after intercourse a little bit, but mostly cervical cancer does not have much symptoms. But happily, it does have a long pre-cancerous phase. In other words, there's a significant amount of time where somebody has pre-cancer before they have cancer, where it's possible to find it and easy to treat it. And that kind of treatment is free in this campaign. So not only screening, but also treatment. Breast cancer does have some symptoms. The symptoms of breast cancer are commonly a lump in the breast, especially a lump that's really hard, like a rock, or that's fixed, kind of stuck to the skin or stuck to the muscle underneath, or has skin changes in the skin overlying it. But even having said that, most people who come to these screenings who have a concern, who say, I came because I had this thing in my breast, I want you to look at it. Most of those people don't have breast cancer, actually. They have something else, because there are other lumps to have in the breast besides breast cancer. So the reason to come is to potentially save your life, but very likely just give you some peace of mind.
All right. Thank you very much for that explanation. Like I said earlier, I have a question here, but like I said earlier, it's important that all of you should go for this test. All the women, there's no reason from 21 years and above, there's no reason for you to stay behind without going for this test. This one says, greetings to High TV. Please, I wish to find out when is the campaign and can every member of my family be part of that campaign?
Okay, thank you. The campaign is on Tuesday, the 12th of November, and it's going to run through to the 16th, which is a Saturday of November. All members of your family are free to come, provided they are 21 years and above. Okay, and for ladies, especially ladies, if they're coming for breast and cervical cancer, they're 21 years and above and they're sexually active. But if they're not sexually active, let them come for the breast cancer exam, and then we can leave them out for the cervical cancer exam. So you're free to carry every member of your village and bring. We have supplies for it.
All right, thank you. You've been quiet. Let me come to you. When we talk about this awareness, at times they create awareness, they carry out screening, look the period from 12 to the 16. After that, what next?
After the period, the 12 to the 16, the laboratory continues to exist. Yeah, so we are always there. Those who would miss this free screening, they can come and pay maybe some little amount of money and then be tested. Yes, because the issue is that the campaign is always going with material that is provided. So we have enough at this point for the screening. And so when we exhaust the material during the screening, if you are coming afterwards, then you need to maybe pay some amount of money for us to get the material for your test.
All right, this is something that is very important and is offered for free. Make sure you keep the time, because we Cameroonians, we always love to do things after time. They said it's from
2 p.m.
No, it's ending
From
at
9 a.m.
from 9
9
a.m. to
a.m.
2 p.m. So make sure that within that time you are there to carry
And
out
it's on
this.
the 12th, from the 12th
to the 16th.
to the 16th.
Yeah, from the 12 to the 16, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Make sure that you are there to do this screening. It's very important. At the Boya Regional Hospital there, everybody knows where Boya Regional Hospital, even those in the villages, make sure that, because like they said, so many people die of these illnesses just because of lack of awareness. This is an opportunity that has been given to everybody to come. Even you are in Limbe, pay your transport and come. Your life is very, very, very important for you to take care of it. Okay, we know Cameroonians say they don't, when they say something is free, and excuse me, and when it comes to health, they are always skeptical nowadays. They are very, I don't know how this came about. So can you please tell us, it's just a screening, right? They are not giving them any medication. I just wanted to tell you tell us how safe and how safe this one is.
Okay, the first assurance you should have is the expertise. Okay, when screening is being called, I know people say, I'm going to come pay to do my screening. They're going to take time on me and they will examine me properly. But if it's a free screening, there will be lots of women, they'll be in a hurry, and they might not take enough time for me. But you have to trust the expertise. Now, before the target is about 500 women. So the logistics covers that. Even the strength of the team has to also cover that. It's also evaluated. And of course, there is what we also call the turnaround time. Turnaround time is how much time you're going to take on a patient before the next patient, and usually before the results are ready. And it is all calculated. So if we have put these days grouped together, it means that all of that has been calculated, and so every woman has an equal opportunity and has an equal time for examination. Nobody is going to be rushing over you, because we are concerned with your life. We are very, very aware that some of you may run from your tight schedules in offices just to run and come there. and coming, foregoing something very important that gives you salary to come, and then we're in a hurry on you and doesn't give you reliable information, also makes us to be incredible. So we have calculated all of that. I want to assure every woman that if you are coming, be rest assured that whatever results you're going to be giving is going to be valid and verifiable. Which means after we're done, if you decide to take it somewhere else to verify, you'll have exactly the same result, given that you're using the same expertise. And like we said, it's a partnership. So we have people with different experiences from other nations that will be there. We have our partners from the US that will be with us. And so if in case you feel that I'm a Cameroonian, you have a white that will attend to you. So it's also important, if you think that no, he's a white, he doesn't know me well, you have a Cameroonian that will attend to you. So you have an equal opportunity to be attended to. And I think there should be no fear.
Okay. Talking about the results, I know that there are some there are times you go to the hospital, you send you for a test, and they say come 3 days, 2 days to get your results. When are they going to get the result? Is it immediately? I know it cannot be immediately, but is it on that same day?
Actually, it will be immediate.
It's immediate.
Okay.
The results are immediate. They are given on the spot.
Sorry, I'm not an expert.
Yeah, the campaign which we are carrying is see and treat.
Yeah.
If we see pre-cancerous lesion, we treat them on the spot. Yes, treat them on the spot.
Wow.
That's the magic of this campaign. Yeah, and the experts are there.
Yeah.
We are there.
It means this one is really good because there are organizations that usually organize free screening for this, free screening, and you just go get your result, and maybe they will advise you, okay, this one is not good, go to the hospital. It's rare to find campaigns that they get the result and they treat you immediately. So
yeah, the organizations are there. You have the University of Buea, the Faculty of
The
Health Sciences, you have the Buea Regional Hospital, you have the Cameroon, Arizona Partnership, presented by Professor Mike. We are all there. We are all there. So the technical know-how is there. And the equipments are there for effective work.
All right, the technical know-how is there, the equipments are there. Yeah, it's really, really good for you to make sure, all of you that are watching, even if you are not watching, if somebody is not watching, you have it as your social responsibility to make sure that you tell everybody, because not everybody is watching TV right now. Some people are in their offices, in their farms, in the market. Make sure that you pass this information to them so that they don't miss this opportunity. It's important that everybody go for screening. Like you heard Professor Mike said, that majority of the persons that comes there for screening, or maybe they say they have some feeling and everything, the test usually comes out negative. So there's no need for us to be afraid. I'll just give everybody the opportunity to do, to call on the population to talk about the campaign. As we are rounding up this session, I'll begin with you, Waters.
Madam Alice, thank you again. I feel like I've over-talked on this panel.
You have not. You have not.
I feel like I've over-talked. I just want to say that take opportunity, seize this opportunity, because the last time we did this was about 2 years ago, and is it 2 or 3 years ago? I think the last one was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and as years go by, the assurance I want to give you is this: when we started the screening, the number of positive cases was quite high. The second time the screening was done, the number of positive cases dropped, which means that we are actually on a good footing. The screening is creating an impact in the community, and we are not expecting to have too many positive cases this time, because we are sure that many people are aware, and especially with the talks that they will be giving. Some time ago, I think it was Prof. Tassan who called my attention. There's a particular tribe that we noticed were having a lot of positive cancer cases, especially cervical cancer. Every biopsy we received was positive. Almost every biopsy we received was positive. They're in a particular region of Cameroon. And so it gave us an awareness, and we're like, oh, please, I think that our screening should be done. And that's why I really pray that people all over the country should be watching this, and you could pay transport to leave from wherever you are to come, because it's going to help a lot. And with time, we realized the incidences started dropping as the screenings were going on. And we are believing that in what if we completely eradicate this thing in Cameroon?
Yeah.
It's possible. It's very possible if everybody can just follow and then come along and do what is needed. And like we said, it's free. All you need is your transportation and yourself to come. So be there, and we are going to do our best to give you all the information that you need and every relief that you need. If you have difficulties, you're going to see either one of the four of us around on every one of those days to ask for directives. And like I said, right from the gate man can tell you where to go. So don't be afraid you'll be lost if you have never been to the Boya Regional Hospital. You'll be guided through.
Okay.
Yeah, my take-home message is this is good news. Cervical cancer and breast cancers are both treatable if they are detected early enough. And be sure we have the latest equipment. Even in the US, some clinics do not have what we have, like a colposcopic equipment. We have the latest. So come, don't be afraid. We shall take care of you. And if we detect anything, we shall treat it. It is precancerous.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to assure the people that the procedures that we would use for the testing, they are very friendly. They are not invasive, so they should not be afraid. Everything is friendly. Those who have done it, they can encourage others to come. If you are getting this information, try to find out from a sister if she too has heard or not. Then you inform them. So they should not be afraid. The 12th to the 16th is the moment. So let them come and get screened.
All right, thank you. I love the fact that you've just made mention that the procedure is quite friendly, because you see most people are afraid of the hospitals. I don't know why, and know the equipment and everything. So it's quite friendly. I'm coming to you now, Prof. Mike.
I would just echo Professor Tassing's comments that cervical cancer is not only treatable, it's preventable.
Okay.
And breast cancer is treatable. And many people are afraid that that treatment means chemotherapy. But most breast cancers in Cameroon do not require chemotherapy. So breast cancer is not only treatable, it usually does not require chemotherapy.
Okay, thank you very much. We are calling on all the population in Boya, Limbe, wherever you are watching us. Make sure that you don't miss this opportunity, starting from the 12th of November to the 16th of November, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. And you said Fridays are reserved for treatment?
Saturday.
Friday and Saturday?
Yes.
Yes, reserved for treatment. So immediately they detect anything which is cancer cell, they are going to treat you. And it is free. It is free. It's rare to find this, so we should not miss this opportunity. I believe that during the rebroadcast again, more people will get the information, and also we're also going to share this this link in our WhatsApp groups to make sure that the information really goes viral. And that's how we saw it on this edition of Inside the Health World. Make sure you join us again next week, and stay tuned to High Television.